Hey. So, you know, the spook season, the season of spooks, where you can both get spooked and be a spook, I guess, though that's kind of every season for me, is upon us, as declared by the witch. You know that I am bound to obey. That brings us to what we're doing. It's control. Normally, I would complain about 3 being a crowd, but my neighbor, we'll call them, isn't gonna say much. They're just gonna sort of flash and chime at us every now and again. They're largely decent to share a brain space with. As usual, I'll be doing the heavy lifting. And, well, I mean, this is also kind of one of the most New York settings that I think I've seen in quite some time, right down to the antiquated technology, the bizarre arcane rules. God, these office spaces. These fucking office spaces. And the outside of the Federal Bureau of Control looks a little bit like Titan Point, and I don't think that's an accident. Other things. This is Remedy. You remember them, because we had to do that pass for Alan. We'll see about Quantum Break at some point. I'm not entirely sure on that one, but at the very least, there's stuff here that puts us back in contact with Alan, see how he's doing. I hear we're going to be talking to him again shortly. Maybe he's gotten better at writing, maybe he hasn't. But for... God, I hate to call them a protege. They're really not. They're an assistant to someone else. Miss Faden here. We're gonna have to teach her time management skills. Basic firearms handling. You know, how to interact with your employees when they get all riled up or possessed by an extra-dimensional consciousness. Just standard office crap. Important skills that are easily transferable to any number of managerial positions that you might get the reins of. And thankfully, she's management material. I do agree that, well, I mean, I'll let Dr. Darling handle most of it. He's got more charisma than I can hope to. Well, you'll know it when you see it, if you haven't seen it already. So, let's do the thing, right? The thing that we do. This thing. Where I fiddle with things for a moment or two, and then you hear stuff. And that's pretty good. And then I do this thing, and you can see stuff. And that's also pretty good. And we're waiting on our thumbs up from the witch. We got it. That's our roommate, by the way. If you haven't hung out before with a whirling fractal in the void that communicates primarily through chimes and shapes, it can be a little bit jarring, but, you know, don't sweat it. It's fine. They really are kind of the perfect temporary stay situation. I wouldn't want to be here permanently. It gets boring. You know, triangles, I get it. I do not. Staycation time, I see. Okay, there we go. I probably just sent that before the screen manager actually kicked up. Also, hello. How's it going? It's control time. We're gonna take it. Control, that is. And oh no, my previous save file is being overwritten by starting a new game. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped.
No, it's fine.
You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. It's like we live.
That was fun.
And there's a poster on the wall.
Looks fixed, though.
We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room. And the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie. What is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here?
From the looks of the place to file paperwork. Hello. Also, the... Yeah, hi, kid. I'm right here. Chill out. The movie that you're thinking of, Miss Faden, is The Shawshank Redemption. It's pretty good. Tried to play the cloud version on the Switch, and semi-rural internet was like, no, yeah, I'd imagine. Now, real quick, kid, you're not carrying a knife, a gun, anything, because it's gonna make a lot of noise if you are. Well, little beep. Here's what we got. Certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials. That's unauthorized weapons. So, given that it's federal, you'll be issued a firearm, probably, depending on the position that you're holding. Those are fine. Pagers, no. Laptops, no. Smartwatches, no. Smartphones, no. Smart gaming devices, no. Anything smart. Well, we can walk in, can't we? We're idiots. Number 2, pencils. Don't even touch those pencils. Any objects considered iconic representations of archetypal concept. Rubber ducks, ketchup bottles. All materials under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, please notify your supervisor immediately. So, you know, no minions, no Mickey Mouse, you get the idea. Well, yeah, the government doesn't like smart things. No, it doesn't. Ayo, yep, correct. That is, I'm glad that you included that. I was struggling between that and got him. Security desk vacant. Brutalist architecture. Nondescript federal building. Everybody's wearing mostly black. Welcome to New York. Ugh, yeah. Automatic door, though. And a projector. Oop. No, actually, I do want to read that. These are fun. Staffing, surveillance, redacted. Data center initiative, construction, redacted. Minor. Office equipment, janitorial costs, redacted. Mold removal, HQ, livability costs for cost breakdown. Spreadsheet, see page 5. For 5-year comparison chart, see page 9. Expenditures. We've stolen part of their accounting.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
Come with me, kid. Just a second. Do you want to know why you keep seeing it in your dreams? You want to know? Because aside from the inverted pyramid in the castle... Okay. Pi. We are gonna talk about the feds. We're gonna do it. This isn't all that far off from a whole bunch of iconography. I mean, it's a sword and a key, rather than arrows. And, what's the other one? A scroll, maybe? Might be. Invenio Investigatio Imperium. Bold and dire statement of intent there. Also, for the Basil Marceau heads out there, I know I reach you. They don't have the gold fringe, so we're good. It's not the maritime flag. Really nice plants, though. Little dusty, but... the wood paneling. It just hits me every time. Our bureau at work. It's the back of a janitor's head. There's Dr. Darling, head of research. Matthew Parrot, voice of Alan Wake. I think that's his last name, Parrot. Can I read this magazine? Game exclusive. Game about secret agents. They've never done that before. There's the boss. Zachariah Trench. They got defibrillators. We got powder fire extinguishers, so I'm going to guess those are ABC rated. A shitter and it's not clogged. BasilMarceau.com to you. Well, I mean, you know, it's been quite some time. I figure we might be on a first-name basis. That being, of course, Basil Marceau. .com is the last name. Mr.com, if we're being...
Bureau of Control.
Yes, that's where we are.
These years, I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
I mean, that's the feds. Big nondescript building. Somebody just threw their shit on the ground. Animals. And the janitor's been here, so I guess there was a liquid spill, too. It's weird having been in so many buildings like this. As mandated. Gray packaging. Simple labels. Protein bars. Pretzels. Pistachios. Chips. Trail mix. Crackers. Security order. Well, this is nothing. Attention all blank. Redacted, a shark in his redacted, although secure, redacted, permission to redacted, following basic protocol, redacted, shoot to kill. Good luck. Depressing. There are specific agencies that I won't name that absolutely look like this on the inside to this day. Hey, there's one. Hello. As you all should know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request Form R4E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department heads. Remember these names: Dr. Darling, Miss Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland, as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Admin. Oh, I hear someone singing. We should make sure of something real quick. Audio? Ah, good. We're checked already. Alrighty.
Hello?
It's the janitor. Remember what I told you a long time ago? There was a thing. Any kind of anything of any sort of specific maturity will just walk up to you and tell you who they are and what they're about. And if you fail to recognize them, that's on you. This guy's about to. He's gonna play you straight, just like I did.
Excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, then you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
No, I'm not thinking that. This is a good guy. We made it. To the interview. To our job as janitor's assistant. Also, I'm not sure if you picked up on it. This route doesn't make sense. It's not the way we came. And now, there's no door there. This is where we came in, because there's the vending machine. That's gonna happen a lot here. Don't sweat it.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
Oh, of course. I'll tear it right off the wall. Can you imagine the sheer amount of paper in this building? Yeah. Consider that. That's the idea. Okay, cool. Ah. That's too bright.
For a moment.
Well, no.
You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
So what do we got here? Horses. Also horses. The oldest house. There it is. Looks a lot like Titan Point. There's an alarm going off. Excuse me. Of course. Yeah, it's gonna need clearance. Probably bad. Yeah, I guess it's in the other room. Okay. Approved technology reminder. While pending any notifications of death related to the Willow AWE, please adhere to the following guidelines. Words and phrases to use. In service of his/her country. We probably just truncate that to there. in service to their country. That encompasses everyone. Regret, proud, pride, will be remembered. Words and phrases to avoid. Alaska, scissors, blood/bleed, loss, apologies, and sorry. So, when it comes to the scissor woman who asks you if she's pretty when you meet her in Alaska, and your idiot friend answers and engages the specter and gets cut to bits, we're not sorry about that, or all of the blood in the snow. See? Easy. And you'll have to write a whole lot of things like that when you take over this assistant job. You'll be fine. Oop. Economy. The retirement issue. Is this the oldest man in the world? We tell ourselves, it's okay to be old. Okay. Nothing else to take. Yeah, we're gonna work on aging gracefully. There's Mr. Trench again. You know that old boy hangs out. In case these people forgot who they worked for. Central Executive Suite. Pneumatic mail tubes. Touch. Do not disturb. Barbara? Oh. That's an unlucky name. I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week. I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. Alright. Oh, we can zoom in. That's good. Well, that's a gunshot. Muffled. Mr. Trench, Barbara's not here. Nice doors, by the way.
Shit. Shit.
Yeah, we should call the cops, right?
Pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and implicate ourselves. It's fine. Causality gets fun here. Alright. Well, the suits are involved. Fun's over.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Look at this place. Where am I?
What, like you haven't been here before? Miss Poster? You don't know the black marble steps? Come on, let's go. Firearms. That's what we're learning about today. Bubblegum Polaroid. Alright. Sure. Oh look, a fucking shade. Get banished. Are we done?
The same gun.
The same gun. Chunky.
Okay. Now I have a gun.
Yeah. That's how it goes. There you go, both eyes, right on down the line. You're good. And it reloads itself. You keeping both your eyes open when you do that? I mean, it's looking like you're right eye dominant, so... Ow, excuse me. Koopy. I suppose that's harder to get central nervous shots with. Are we paying attention? You don't stop until it's done. Yes. Oh, well, it's over here. My bad.
Something's coming.
Yes, hello?
This threat.
Oh, no, the other one, gotcha.
Attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, ghost phone. It's fine.
It's the dead man.
Yeah.
Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word.
Well, all language is noise, kid.
This gun's alive.
Yeah.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
I'm happy. Happy to be here.
That's a positive outlook on your first day.
Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
Oh, absolutely not. If it's quiet, that's bad news. What do we got here? Just somebody. Oh no, the fringe. Basil, look away. A certificate. Getting sworn in. Cutting some ribbon. We can make a mess. Some white coats. It's depressing. Doesn't appear that there's anything worth drinking. Haha, here we go. Don't worry about it, just block it out.
You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen.
You're fine.
Let this happen.
It's nothing.
You can't let this happen.
Like you don't hear it all the time.
You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
Oh, it's just a background noise. Anyway, let's do some murders. There we are. Let's learn. The Bureau has many internal security personnel. The Hiss, this background noise, was quick to take advantage of this fact. Hiss guards use a standard-issue bullpup rifles they carried prior to corruption, while the armored guards carry pump-action shotguns. Why wouldn't you just issue the rifles? That doesn't make sense. They have no observed paranatural abilities, with the exception that certain Hiss guards are protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance, capable of stopping bullets. Is this shielding a result of prolonged Hiss corruption? Does the Hiss mature in organic hosts over time? More data is needed. Did the Hiss target individuals with combat training? Does the Hiss have that level of cognizance? Does it utilize hosts for tasks they are best suited to? Combat-trained hosts are reserved for combat? These are all questions for later, though it is obvious that corrupted individuals retain knowledge on the use of their weapons. Refer to Redacted for the full report. That's Director Trench. So much is expected from the Director. The responsibility, the privilege, the power, the prestige. Ah, good. Containment procedure. No unique procedures required. 1964. The object's form is variable. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians, that's us, to redact it. You know I'm getting redacted all over the place. You know it. The object must only be bound by individuals seeking the role of redacted. The object will determine whether redacted. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. This process is dictated by the redacted, though their criteria is unknown. We can guess that's the board. The object was discovered inside the oldest house in the room that is now used as the director's office. The popular hypothesis redacted many forms throughout history, redacted Mjolnir, Excalibur, Varun Nostra, all weapons that redacted of their wielders. If objects of power are the convergence of forces based on the collective subconscious, then this may be the original manifestation of that event. If this is the case, redacted. See Dr. Darling's presentation 11.1 for more details. We've seen his presentation. We can watch it again if we wanted.
Objects of power can cause or be results of a...
But we have seen it. It's a nice spot to stop and watch some of the things that we'll be watching. It's a federal bureau, so you know they have a media department. Seeing as you're the boss now, you want... This is horse shit. I'm in charge. Is there a particular fucking reason for this? Because I'll tell you, somebody's fired. See? Look. That's us. They already swapped the portraits. Absolute horse shit. We can't even turn the alarms off. Fucking admin. Absolutely slacking. We don't even have our clearance cards yet. Is this fine? This seems fine. Chicken wire can't go through. Alright. Well, I'll be back for this. That's gonna be my problem. Yes?
Secure line of communication.
Okay.
Guide us.
Yes.
Reach the hotline.
Ghost phone, I understand. Yeah.
The hotline, says the dead man.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
They like these horses. Don't know if you can make out that chanting. It's a mantra, but it's nonsense. There we go, I'm forcing the issue. We good? Nope, not quite. Okay, now we're good. Undefined reading. We don't know what these are. So, well, let's see if we can get, No? They're not gonna give me a file on that one, huh? We'll talk about them later then. There's a reason that they're like this. I mean, besides the fact that it's just the red stuff. The background noise. This thing that nobody should be sweating, this is really unacceptable. Decoration gets it done, but...
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Okie doke. Easy enough, right? What do we got here? Released articles. Okay. Can be taken for reuse. What are we displacing? Gotta be the building. Hello, Director. First day on the job touring the facilities. Nothing on that desk. Mike Hill. Mike? It's a bad day, huh? You would be stunned at how many medical records get entered and re-entered on these things. Hello? Now I've knocked the toilet tissue off of the holder. We're just gonna leave it on the ground like a fucking animal. Files. Rising costs of Altered World event response. Update on mold eradication efforts. Upcoming annual salary review. New supplier of coffee filters to be found and vetted. Please come prepared. Thank you for your time. The multimedia flashing thing is just the audio bit that we listen to. I wish it would just mark it as complete if you have in fact played it from start to finish. That would be nice. Director's office is that way. That's where we came from. Uh-huh. Don't let mold hitch a ride. Perform daily body checks for foreign plant matter. Dinner reservations at Chez Ombre. Wife will meet you there, don't be late. Flowers are ready for you at lobby reception. Remember, she is turning 46. It's very important. Avoid modern technology. Synchronicity Research Department. Don't put any modern technology in here. Is that a stapler or an altered item? Don't take office equipment outside of the building. Let's work hard. His life is in your hands as he stands behind you while you cart boxes upon boxes of records no one cares about anymore from place to place. Well, ding dong. Shelter didn't work, huh? I'm just gonna grab this. It's unidentified. For Marshall's eyes only, well, suck shit. I'm in charge now. Subject another dud. Marshall, we checked out the suspected AWE in Duluth. Wasn't anything, just like the house fire before this, and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need to find a better way to sort the fake AWEs from the real thing, or you need to rotate these field agents off for a bit. Anyway, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there. Sincerely, Special Agent Keenum. I mean, false alarms and dud calls are great though, bud. It means that you just got to take a free trip on company time. That bodes ill. Welcome to Central Executive.
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier.
It's just...
Hiss
it's background noise.
into everything in this place.
It's just background noise.
Your enemy? It's our enemy.
It's just background noise and you're overreacting.
It burrows in like an infuriating melody that...
Okay, we're gonna read something and you can wax poetic about their nonsense poem. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby. Start with the following. Customer service voice. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as part of an effort to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and her people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. How'd I do? If they do not leave, then ask these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? Nailed it. How did you find this place? Try not to ask that one with so much venom. If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and that they'll need to leave. Like this. Unfortunately, this is a secure federal office, and we will have to ask you to leave. If their answers seem redacted, escort them to a private room. There, perform the gunner's psychological assessment. If their responses are within the acceptable range of deviance, see provided scoring sheet, then redacted immediately. Remember, there's no such thing as too suspicious.
Makes you hum it over and over.
I don't know, I just block it out. Examination of paranatural topics. Urban legends. They're believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. Urban legends are understood as the modern evolution of Jung's archetypes. We recognize certain redacted, informed by our own, redacted, and popularized by our media. We have additionally proven that urban legends can even be artificially redacted in popular culture using Redacted, our Bureau-made anthology television program. Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exacerbates the details. Certain paranatural phenomena contain clear elements of popularized folklore, AWEs that only occur on Redacted, a pair of scissors that consume human redacted through 2 punctures on the redacted. Those redacted pieces are likely full moon, human blood through 2 punctures on the neck. These details, living in the minds of so many, have been given strength through belief. Urban legends are not just stories for children. They are paranatural realities waiting to happen. Refer to file 4-93-6942, should have been 420, for full report. Pardon. Boy, you really just fucking tugged that over. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, the radios are probably not going to work. Because, you know, the copyright system is fucking busted. Yeah, hey, it's the upside down pyramid again. Looks like y'all got a stink. That one's got a gun. Is that a fucking grenade? Why do you have a grenade? There they are. Ranger Pulaski. There we are. Ranger Pulaski doesn't know how to check his corners and shoulder his gun. Pardon. Idiot.
Must cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
Uh-huh. No, I understand. Let's clean this up.
The control point.
Yeah, let's clean this up.
Help me fix it.
There you go. And would you look at that?
Holy shit.
What?
You did it. We did it.
There you go. So these ley line intersections are, you know, gonna be our bonfires. Yeah, relax, I'm coming. Hello.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
Not anymore, you're not.
My turn. Should I lie?
No.
Jesse Faden.
There you go.
I'm just visiting.
No, you don't.
Flight.
Oh,
What?
shit.
You're not visiting.
You're the new director.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're coming out.
Yeah, hello, I am new boss.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this...
Hiss?
That works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah.
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
Yep.
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about those.
Out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
Walked through the front door.
You yet?
Walked through the front door.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan?
You can ask.
Not yet.
Why not?
But there's something I need to ask you to do first.
Yeah.
If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
True.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long.
Yeah, she's got a face.
Or rather, the bureau she's a part of.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's your bureau now. Kid, come on, get with it.
For you, of course. Together.
Okay, well, I'm glad to be acknowledged, but, hey, listen.
Okay. You with me?
Yeah.
We did it before. Push the hiss out.
We'll deal with it, hang on. They got stuff. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point, you know that thing we shot, in the blank arrangement, the surrounding areas will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. It's pentagonal. These control points are discovered by redacted detection of an unobstructed ping using the redacted within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures or redacted or vulnerable points of the oldest house. It's just meridians, it's fine. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. Refer to file 7-25-2788 for full report. Also, there's not, like, you're thinking in terms of, finite Euclidean space? It doesn't work like that. It's fine. So long as we tell it what's going on here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Connect the dots and what do we get? We don't need to lock the whole fucking thing down. That's not necessary. Just to make sure that we are telling it, hey, we need this spot. It'll acquiesce, see? Let's see what else we can take. Well, let's deal with this and then we'll see what else we can take, right? Hey, you. Well, they're dead. Yep. Dead.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
Yeah. It's fine.
Jesse, over here.
Yeah.
We
What's
need
up?
to make a plan, Jesse.
Yeah, we do.
I can't trace them. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here.
Yeah, do it.
I'll risk it.
Yeah, open your mouth.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough.
Sure.
Maybe that's too much already.
No, it's fine. You're in charge now.
About Dylan and the rest yet.
You're in charge. You can tell her whatever.
Mentions of an altered world event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us, or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is.
Yeah, ghost.
He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
Okay. Appreciate the heads up.
They call me the director.
I miss guys like that.
I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader.
You're in charge now. You're enrolled in this managerial course.
I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too.
Yeah.
I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them.
That's how it works.
I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Yeah, it's fucking Thursday, right? That's for you, by the way. Nice stand to put it on. Okay.
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now.
Well, you,
Follow the signs.
you ambidextrous, kid?
Get to the hotline containment chamber through
We'll
there.
make use of that.
Good luck, Jesse. See you.
Yeah, see you in a second. Personal mods. Better health recovery. There's nothing stopping us eventually from just equipping 3 of these. That's nice. We also won't need to. How about an accuracy boost? Materials. Conceptual memory. Hidden trend. And an undefined reading.
Back here once you have the hotline.
Thanks, Emily.
Give me this. It's like 407. Those are the previous directors. So you know. You got thoughts?
The hotline should be in the communications department.
Yeah, I got that. So we can ask her stuff. Let's ask her this.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Likely we didn't have time for a presentation. That's all for now.
I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Yeah, you got it. By the way, you're head of research now. We already took everything from there. That's executive affairs in our office. We still don't have fucking security clearance, despite being in charge. That's more released articles. This is schematics. We'll need symbols like that later. Bits. Shatter projectile boost. We don't have that mode yet. We will. Pencil sharpeners. That's where you take your pencil where it says it's not cool to do drugs and you sharpen it down to cool to do drugs. They get it done pretty quickly, fast enough that you can kind of smell the wood getting hot. Technological restrictions. So, limitations of the oldest house. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any redacted signal. Probably digital. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconsciousness is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are simply too new in the cultural zeitgeist, that's what the redacted thing is, for the oldest house to recognize them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving at too fast a pace for the blank to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Redacted agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Refer to file 4-19-1935 for full report. The only person you should fail is yourself, says Zachariah Trench. Relax, bud. There we go. Hiss agents. The Hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate and have weird catatonic states. These Hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the incantation ad infinitum. Infinitum? Infinitum? I have no idea. I've heard it pronounced both ways. It's one of those words you read, but you don't say too much. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the Hiss corruption like spores or Wi-Fi boosters or speakers. Maybe it's speakers? Fucking Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, Hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. We convert the matter from, you know, like mass to a wave form of energy. That would be fucking catastrophic for every piece of matter within the region, so probably not that. Research is ongoing. Refer to file redacted for a full report. There. That'll stop blinking at me now. You know what sucks the most? They won't let me just get free shit from the vending machine even though I'm the boss here. That's a radio. We can turn it on. But that's it. Just that then. No. Do as you're told. Don't eat mold. And then an emphatic no on that. So I guess someone is 100% into eating mold over there. Shifted bathroom complaint. Listen. I know you can't control the building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went, D. Rodriguez. I'm not entirely sure why he's that concerned about the workplace shitter. Yes, I know where to go. Fucking triangles here. Hello? Delays caused by house shifts do not count towards overtime. Ow. Too real. Remember to wash your hands. You can spread mold. Acoustic guitar for sale, $50. Food left in the fridge. In containment break room, 3-8 has been known to vanish. Plan accordingly. No dogs. Hey, Jesse. I'm ungovernable now. Very seriously shaking hands in front of something. Pencil sharpener on the bookcase, which is weird. You'd figure you'd put it on the desk, but whatever. Dead people. I like how much of this environment is readable. This is going to be great for just fucking around. It's also so far the most positive experience with spooky games we've had, huh? Last time it was Meat Space. That didn't work out for me internally. Rules of conduct. Okay, speak in a moderate volume. No personal calls, no food or drink around bureau documents or in the copy room. That's all sensible. No using the photocopier for personal projects. Can't quite read that, but we'll get there. Wear access badge at all times, yep. No discussing confidential projects out loud. The one to finish the coffee pot makes a new one. This is all sensible to me. Energy recovery. We don't have to worry about that yet. That's for very soon. That's the boardroom. Okie doke. The nostalgia department. I don't want to go there. Makeshift barricades.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
I mean, they'd be doing that whether or not we were here. It's fine. Sealed in a hurry. No clearance. Well, we know we're in the new us now. Let's say hello. Tomasi, the boss is here. Oh. He sounded closer. Didn't make it, huh? Hey, you. Check your corners. And hit the fucking range more often. You should have had me dead to rights. This is why this place needs new management, kid. Travel costs. We have to review these, naturally. Visited the following Nevada accommodations: Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Aztec Court, Sleepy Bear Motel. Hey, there's one for the witch. Silver Spurs Ranch, El Gato Blanco Inn, A+ Lodge. Accommodations $831.29. Meals $714.84. Y'all fucking chowed down, huh? Gasoline $2.95 and 12. Minibar 313.61. I do wonder if a motel called the Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state, but hey, I guess I'm not paid to think, right? And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. See you on the road. Agent L. Hines. Asterisk. The boys in research said performing rituals may help identify any places of power. Drinking those little whiskeys is my ritual. No, you're an alcoholic. And a lightweight. Get a big bottle. Fucking do it, pansy. Yeah, I'll deal with that in a second. See, I gotta do this first. There we are. One of these. There we are. Well, you're not exactly ambidextrous, but... you know, we'll take it. Nobody's perfect. Again, you should have had me dead to rights. We're good. There's a barrier. Hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as a way to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. 2 methods have been discovered for lowering them. 1. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. 2. Destroy the hiss entities in the area. The resonance field seems to require support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning? Refer to file redacted for full report. Vibe check. There we go. Please be aware, due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Reference chart: green, stable. Yellow, low possibility of unanticipated building shifts. Orange, high likelihood of unanticipated building shifts. Red, frequent unanticipated building shifts. Don't get caught in red, you might never come out. Motherfucker was hoarding toilet paper in here. Selfishness. Take 2. Hey, bits. Why does the men's room have a fucking vacuum sealed canister full of apparently just a concept in it? What's happening in the men's room? Are y'all good? Do you need to go to the doctor? That's sealed. Hola. Dead letters. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know or the ones anyone knows. A new God. This machine will be his body, his heart, and his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator and the coils from my toaster and the fans plus the timing belt from my car's engine and the wheels from my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby's but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Thanks, mystery sender. Well, I kept trying to ping the shield, but not a lot of dice. This is going to be difficult without something with a lot of mass to breach it. You see, it's concentrated energy, so we have velocity on our side. That's good. Mass tends to work better because, well, you're breaking surface tension then. Eh. Little things like this, I should explain. When I say you're breaking surface tension, of course it helps that it's pointed, right? Little things like these, they're not bullets, they're pieces of the gun. See, it gets shorter as I do that, and then it grows itself back. Without significant mass, they'll burn up when you're dealing with a kind of electromagnetic eddy, like I would imagine those fields are. So what you need is significant mass. Hurled at velocity, absolutely, but the more it has to burn off, the more the field is going to be compromised by something breaking through it, and when it's no longer able to maintain a bubble, we're in. If we could make this much more dense, that would also work. But, you know, Jesse's got to be able to hold it. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database for that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. These letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones might give us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. P. Bartwell. Honestly, P. Bartwell, this sounds like an interesting project, and I'd have approved it too. Ah, fucking piss. Hang on. Gotta go back around. Oh. Jesse, you know what you need? You know what you need to will the gun to do? Weapon light. Singing fish. Mr. Governor. I called the police, but they never come to my house. I got a problem, and you gotta send folk to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish. It sings when you hit a button, but it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs. Says a lot of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish, and you gotta come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. Dwayne, if you're out there, I would love to come get the devil out of your fish. Honestly, I'd apply for the Bureau, but I don't think they take people like me. They did have a no dog sign. No, it's just that guy again. Why is it so shiny? This is very shiny. I guess we got winged. It's gonna rip a hole in that jacket. We'll get you something more fitting soon. Miss Faden needs, just a skosh. Excuse me, sir. More exposure before we're properly equipped, you know, and then we'll dress like it. All right, it's sleep time for a bird. Okay, good night, pal. There we go. So communications is that way. Yes, thank you. They also allow us to fast travel. These points are all 1 point. You understand, yes? I don't have to explain how separate points in space are not necessarily separate points, period. You can grapple with understanding entanglement principles. Oh, that's full of mail. Well, we'll deal with that. You know what? Pardon. Son of a bitch, hang on. Yeah. Good thing y'all put up these barricades. That's a 1. Hanging out right there, huh? Oh, did you just look at me? That would have been interesting. Must have just been an errant twitch. There is someone else who's going to know that I'm here. We'll get to them. There we are. We're in, we're out. Motherfucker. Would it be possible for you to fuck off, sir? I am in charge of you now. There. Okay. Oh, there's a shelter here. Hang on. I don't remember if I took everything from this. Oh, I definitely didn't. Havana. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. Redacted deaths were reported, and the outgoing information has been managed. Event response. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been redacted. A noise. This is Havana syndrome. A real thing. Well, it's a real event. We don't know if Havana syndrome exists. Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for redacted minutes. No visual phenomena witnessed. The scene was cordoned off, and the embassy staff were transported to the continental U.S. After Formula I.9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as an altered item. This item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. See case file AI-85 for details. Wet floor. I'll deal with this later. This is mold. Don't touch it. Remember to wash your hands. Alright, that's where we came in, so up the stairs, right? Right. Not those stairs. Ow. Alright. We'll deal with that later, too. That's what I came back here to poke my head in on. Well, you know, back at it. See what it is that we can poke around at now that the building is fixed. Yeah, don't eat the mold. We wiped that clear. Anyway, if you hadn't guessed from things like this, Miss Faden here has more in common with the witch than me. We'll, as promised, get some appropriate gear for her. Hello, avid readers. The Bureau Book Bunch will convene at the usual spot in the corner table of the cafeteria at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Do you hear that, darling? They have a book bunch. Currently discussing Unless You by J.D. Brooks. Everyone should get their reviews to me by Monday before lunch so I can generate some conversation starters before the meeting. Happy reading. Penny Bardwell. Ah, good. Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. We can do that in big. There you go. Hang on there, Meg.
Dad says my mama went missing in action. She walked into the city and didn't come back.
Shame that we can't just rewind, because we can actually read that. We'll have to just sit through it. Because that's just doing that. Note when you do another one of these. Give me some fast forward, some rewind. Just some basic bits, right?
Hey, Meg, what's wrong?
Her mom's dead, we know that.
Dad. I'm so sorry, Meg. What happened? I don't know. He blacked it out.
Now, Meg, give us a moment because Jesse needs to learn about drafting a letter like this. Dear Madam, we regret to inform you of an incident that occurred during our recent undertaking in Redacted that resulted in Redacted and Redacted. We suffered great losses while Redacted, where your family member was Redacted. Blair Wright was a valued member of our proud agency, and her legacy will live on among our ranks. Please take solace in the knowledge that Redacted, a remarkable Redacted for any agent. Please address any further queries to the Redacted, and Redacted. Sincerely, Redacted.
It's like the director says, confidential and children both start with C.
Don't they just?
There's a puppet! A dirty, rotten, fart person!
Dad says my mama went missing in actions. She walked into the city and didn't come back. I don't know what missing in actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Telfer. We'll find your mama together.
What, Meg? Try it. That's what I thought. Oh, good. Oh, that just won't do. That's a terrible, terrible angle.
Is wide and
Just hang on there, Dr. Darling. Floppy disk.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes.
Nice.
This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
Neat. We're gonna launch more than a cup.
Of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA. The launch codes to Soviet.
And we can't get up there yet. We'll be able to, though.
Communications. We're on the right track.
We sure are. I think that's everything we can take from here. Yeah, that's full of mail. Okay. Oh, I wanted to barrel into that door. Nothing of note. Blood on the ground. We're gonna have to clean that up. Welcome to the comms department. They're here to help, they say. Must have been a door shutting. It's book club. Socks and ballerinas. Alright. That dude ate it so hard. That sucks for him. Yeah, hang on. There we go.
Object of power.
Yeah, I need that.
Guess it latched onto it.
I need that. Open. It seems unhappy. Oh, reload efficiency's nice. Okay. Yeehaw. I don't have clearance. Other way. Crouch low. Fuck that. We're just gonna rush it. Got you. Nope. You're got. Come here. And so it can be bound. Teach us to believe, huh?
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed.
Yeah, you're fine.
The board's in charge here.
Yes.
Pyramids in the Bureau seal.
Yes.
Are they really the ones pulling the strings?
Well, they're pulling some strings.
Their director. I'm no one's director.
Well, you're your own. Also, hey, it's the black marble of the King's Road again. Open the door. There we are. Oh, sure. You want a specific thing hucked into the hole. So like I said, more in common with the witch than with me. Nothing but a sidearm. We'll see a very specific kind of dress. Obvious witchery afoot. Communing with spirits, which I don't tend to care to do. Embodied or otherwise, there's no reason to talk to these people. It's true. She's noted that I am the primary spirit that she communes with, and yeah. Miss Faden has triangles over there, the witch has me. Yeah, we'll deal with it. Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry about that. Bound and delivered.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off.
Yeah, you had to just hang out with me. How dreadful.
You wanted.
You.
This will help me fight the hiss.
Now hang on, that one up there. They're closer. There we are. There was another one, yeah. Bada bing, hi, idiot. Was this something? This is not something. Well, they're all fucking dusted. We may continue. Give me this. I'm gonna make a mess. Demolitions. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. Hiss demolition experts are the only observed Hiss variations to wield the specially built rocket-propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track redacted entities once fired. They mean me. And triangles, making them a threat whose termination should be prioritized in combat scenarios. Sure. I find it remarkable that the Hiss restrict usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel who train specifically for its use. What does this tell us about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still too many unknowns. Refer to file redacted for full support. Well, report. Rangers are the Bureau's well-trained and well-armed expeditionary forces. Their Hiss-corrupted counterparts are equally formidable. Prior to corruption, Rangers were trained to use a variety of weapons in order to face any threat found during AWE response or threshold exploration. That's when we take just a little field trip somewhere else. including submachine guns, assault rifles, and automatic shotguns. Hiss Rangers utilize these weapons as well as the advanced tactics taught by Bureau instructors. Some are additionally outfitted with Bureau-made body armor. Hiss Rangers have no observed paranatural abilities beyond some being protected by a shielding of dense hiss resonance, capable of stopping bullets. Considering the advanced training the Hiss Rangers are capable of applying to the situation, is it feasible to consider the human mind still remains intact to some degree? Yeah, kind of. Or is the Hiss able to tap into this combat training and utilize it? Well, it's sort of kind of intact. Sort of kind of. Further observation is required. Refer to file redacted for full report. Case files. The floppy disk. Must be contained in a cell with no other loose material. From 3/11/1974. The object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians, that's the witch and Miss Faden, to telekinetically lift and throw it a short distance. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.15 for more information. We did. The object is currently bound to Jesse Faden, not for research purposes. Background: stolen from a Soviet military base located in Redacted by agents Redacted and Redacted with the CIA. The diskette contained launch codes to redacted missiles, believed to be reserved for use against, well, the United States. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. And information in the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and it was requisitioned by agents the next day. Speedy turnaround for a government agency. It's impressive. Knock knock, open up the door, I'm real. Okay. I mean, not much there, but we'll take it. Oh, do we have a different, no new slot yet, huh? Alright. That's fine. Mailroom.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
Yeah. I'm trying to sniff him out. I think he might just be on the intercoms. Which, you know, is unfortunate for the purposes of containing an auditory cognito hazard, but so it goes. You play the hand you got, not the one you wish you had. That elevator ain't gonna work. That's gonna be blocked to us from this angle. It's probably trouble that way. Get this out of here. Get this out of here as well. I was wondering how long it would take him to, like, notice. There it is. Okie doke. Open. Undefined reading. We don't know what that is yet. Tomasi, you're making a lot of noise over there. Mailroom's that way. Want to see what's in here, though. Reflection. Sometimes it takes a moment to sort that and to be like, well, is this a reflection or are we in a fucked physical space? Hello. Problem. Solution. What's with the computers? Dude. Keep it moving. That's interesting. Pardon, pardon. Pardon again. Just a piece of the wall, then. Whiffed all of those shots in a row. That's what'll happen when you're one-handed aiming. Alright. Ranger Coleman. Let's get this done. That's got it. That's got it. Data breach. Last month, our on-site server experienced an intrusion by unauthorized users. After a thorough investigation, it was confirmed that the users only accessed a video file, which contained portions of various Dr. Darling presentations. Investigators were able to track the user through their IP address. The following are the confirmed identities of these users: Patrick Stroitjens, Rubens Noguera, Arto Kolomaki, Christopher Mills Bowling, Jaakko Saarinen. Might be Saarinen. These individuals are in breach of Bureau Code 91 and have been placed under surveillance by our external investigation team. Further action is pending. We'll see how well I did on those pronunciations at some point, I'm sure. My bet is bad. A shatter efficiency mod. Completely useless to us right now. Well, we solved that problem. We won't be solving that problem because they won't let me in. Excellent. Now they'll let me in.
You're listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 29 years. Thank you for staying up with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena. Today, friend of the show, Dr. Quincy Reagan, tells his story.
Tell us.
Quincy. Thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Macon for last year's SuspiciaCon. I was in room 47. The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Guests had stayed there, sleeping with the corpse a foot below them. They only found the body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed. It was dark and stiflingly hot. Luckily, I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
Oh, there you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms. Quincy was brave enough to tell his story, and I encourage you to keep calling and writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for. Maybe your toaster is possessed. Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
Well, there we have it. This is the poem written out. Oh, no, never mind. So far, sure this has happened, but... Okay. We're gonna have to go through that at a different point in time. Yeah. That'll take a moment. I'm just kind of skimming and trying to guess how long it'll take me to read through it with my mouth. Open. Okay. Well, they had set up a privacy screen. I'm gonna guess more than one person was in here. Looks like they got bored. They were reading game and drinking. We can't see what they were watching. Launch efficiency, also good. Not enough slots right now, though. In a moment. Alright, let's do this, and then we'll see if the lights come back on. Oh, hey. There's something else over there.
This must open the door.
Well, I mean, we picked up 2 of them, so I guess they wanted to make sure that we couldn't miss it. There's a broom. You're ready. Well, at least we have clearance level 1 now. I'm still bitter about this. I probably will be for quite some time. I think there's one upstairs that we can pretty immediately access, right? Fucking A, hang on. Go fuck yourselves. Alright then. I'm trying to collect documentation for the agency that Miss Faden has to run now. Oh, that's a lot of mold. Yeah, that's a lot of mold. And guess what we're gonna deal with later? Lockdown distinctions. Pay attention, Alberto. This is the last time I'm explaining this. Internal lockdowns are manually triggered events that lock one or all of the sectors by restricting use of the sector elevator, effectively locking staff in their sector until the emergency is handled. They can only be lifted via the directorial override and maintenance once the director is satisfied that the situation is under control. External lockdowns are a bigger deal. Nothing in or out of the whole building. It's only triggered by a code red contaminant breach based on some complicated system that security and research slapped together. It can only be lifted once A, the threat has been neutralized, and B, a high clearance individual gives the system the all clear. This process is not the same as the directorial override, so stop saying so in documentation. I know it's confusing as hell. I've told Darling 100 times to change it, but they're adamant it stays the way it is. Honestly, I don't even think they know how to change it at this point. Let's just make sure our staff understands how this mess all works, okay? Marshall. Makes sense. The terminology is confusing enough as it is. You don't want to add to that. That'll probably unlock once I'm done up here. That's America Tonight. Alright. Let's at least chase this fool out of here. Odds are good that's going to be all we're able to do. Watch, don't slip on the blood. We'll have to come back to finish the job.
They can fly now. Great.
Yeah, they fly now. Cover. Oh, you're bringing in more of them, aren't you? Yeah. On high. Ow. Yeah. Debris and detritus. It'll get you. I'm gonna wait for him to summon his bullshit again and then, yeah. Alright, well, I mean, it stops him from doing the thing, right? Which is nice, but... You ought to be fucking off soon, sir. Ow. Couple of these. There we go. Yeah, there we go. He's in the tubes for now.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
Yeah. Where's his friend?
Focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
Speaking of, what have we got? Tea time. Hey Malcolm, yes, tea time is at 7. I'll see you on the course on Sunday morning. By the way, have you heard about this Tennyson report? Apparently there's a bunch of copies drifting around the office. Trench is looking to get his hands on any information about who wrote it. You wouldn't happen to have heard anything about that, would you? See you Sunday, Jim. Anything else lingering? It's just Tomasi in the fucking tubes. Open that. There it is. Triangles, control parameters. Okay. I hear Finnish singing. I think that's everything. At least up here. Oh, let's go answer the ghost phone. Event summary. A spate of disappearances was traced to a home in the city of Butte, where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Bureau agents arrived at a home of a local celebrity located at Redacted, which had been connected to a total of redacted disappearances in the area. Agents found no one inside. While searching a closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord and disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord in order to replicate the event. He disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house, Redacted days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord in the Butte home closet disappeared during this incident. That's a hotline chamber. You better stay in those pipes, you know what's good for you. We'll listen to that in a sec.
Alberto Tomasi.
That's him. Well done, everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. That's his most memorable quote. Speaking of the Hiss Elevated. Hiss Elevated agents display abilities similar to telekinetic competencies observed in Bureau para-utilitarians. Some prefer to charge their targets, while others launch objects at them. Telekinetic attacks have been ineffective against the Hiss Elevated due to their own talent in the area. They do not use any weapons except their own paranatural capabilities. Some Hiss Elevated have been seen levitating while strapped into chairs. This is likely the result of individuals being corrupted while undergoing cognitive recording in parapsychology. How are they able to use paranatural abilities? Is it possible that these individuals were bound to objects of power prior to corruption? It's also worth considering that the Hiss Resonance can identify and express latent paranatural ability in the individuals it corrupts. Refer to file redacted for full report.
The head of comms. The Hiss got him.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Somebody's still sending mail, I just saw it. Yeah.
Alright, take this down.
Yeah, take this down.
The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds of an altered item to show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
So Tomasi's been at this job a long time, huh? I'll be back for you.
The hotline can't be far now.
Completely different style of building architecture in here, huh? Touch. Do you think we're in the hotline chamber? Butte supplement. According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from the Butte home to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino, and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. See file MOT-01. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. The disappearance of the home's owners and the other locals of Butte have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in Butte home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, redacted light cords have been found in the oldest house located in the redacted and redacted sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly this link operates is redacted, but initial hypotheses center on the Butte's AWE as a redacted. See Dr. Darling Presentation 24.3 for more details. Hotline security log. All visitors gotta check in. Trench, Bill Everett, custodian. Who's Bill, who's Carl? Trench. Hotline chamber.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord.
Director use only.
Black pyramid.
Fatal psychic trauma. Ooh. Stand here. Click. This is notice. There you go. The law of 3 applies. Ritual attunement required. Agent must orient and anchor motel to their personal frequencies.
Whoa.
There we are.
Have we been here before?
See, 3s.
No.
Symbols.
I've stayed at a lot
Nothing.
inside motels across the country, on the road,
A spiral.
on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
Sure does. Empty, upright triangle, inverted, filled in triangle. Doors upon doors upon doors upon doors. I see you. Okay. Janitor's closet. Front desk is empty. Miami. New York. See America. Montana. It really is very pretty. We only passed through, but we'll look around more as opportunities present. Texas. Fuck that. Nevada. State of freedom. Smoky Western blend. Self-service vending machine for all your needs. The Vending Machine Company. Thank you. Well, it's got all of our needs, all 4 of them.
Hello? Anyone here?
Come on, kid, pay attention. Open a door. And so, we can see what the hotel rooms look like. They ain't the worst, they're a little dated, but then again, what isn't here? Pictures. I'm gonna do this 3 times. A 2-ber, a 3-ber. This is us. Key.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
Is that reset? Yeah. Let's see what's in 2. Same room. I'm sure we'll have something to do with that later. Black pyramid. I gotta get that phone. 2. And a 3. A road. Hello, yes. This is Dog. Yeah, I got that, pal. It's a phone. I was here to have a conversation on the phone, not do challenges, but alright. Upsies. You see that? There's nothing we can do about that. Try as we might. See? We just gotta go around it. It looks like it's content to just hang out there. Pardon. Hey, come here. Suck shit forever, idiot. Compulsive, huh?
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
I have it. The hotline.
Yep.
I can reach Trench.
You sure can.
Listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info.
Well, I
I
mean,
need to get back to Emily.
listen, kid, you're gonna... It's just... He's not an echo, he's him, but the him you knew that was in this place is quite dead. It's not the same as an echo, it's more like a specific point in existence, like if you were to see the worm that you are in 4 dimensions, from baby to corpse dust. You'd be dialing Trench at X segment of worm. That's as close as we're gonna get. She's not listening. Unknown caller. Emily instructs Jesse to find the hotline, an object of power in the form of an old telephone. We did. Files. Containment procedure. Object should be inaccessible for use except for the director. Object is a 1960s era red bakelite telephone. The rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs. Redacted. The object allows the director to communicate with the redacted. If used by anyone other than the director, the object will cause lethal. Redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.6 for more information. Currently bound to Director Faden. The object spontaneously manifested in the director's office, placed on the desk. Director Northmore was the first known Bureau agent to use it. A battery of tests were run on the object, including redacted and redacted, but its origin remains unknown. We did that. We did that. Hotlines. We got the management team. So...
The Ocean View Motel and Casino is a familiar friend to me. I stayed in countless motels like it while investigating AWEs across the country, back in my field agent days. Those roadside motels all bleed together like a dream. Same and not the same. Anywhere and nowhere. The Ocean View operates on dream logic, and the light switch cord leaks out to be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes successfully encouraged to appear and act as a convenient lock to keep out those not trained in dreamscape navigation. Even Bureau veterans can only find one key in the motel. The key that opens the door marked with the inverted black pyramid. The rest, the many other doors, are still mysteries to us. We're all merely guests there. Even the board. Sometimes I need to visit, just to breathe easier for a while. It beats the numb, sterile apartment I spend my nights in, insulated from everything but myself. I guess that's where the whiskey comes in.
We'll talk more to Trench later. For now, let's get back to Emily.
Strongly when I tell them about you.
I'll tell them about me. Oh, you mean triangles, never mind.
Too soon to tell Emily?
Nah, tell her.
She might be able to help.
You know, as been said, you need a management team. I don't see what the problem is. That's back to tubes. Yeah. Yeah, that's tubes. We should go this way. Hey, look at that. It's our office. Hey, look at that. There's a new report on our desk. Bureau funding. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip right over us as if we weren't there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regards, Zachariah Trench, former Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Good, so funding's taken care of. That's nice. Just don't get weird with it. To Central Executive. 4. It's a lot of sticky notes. We'll deal with that too. I mean, we'll have to. A 1. Okay. Para-utility. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians, or witches. The potency of these abilities depend on the para-utilitarian. Using the redacted object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw of redacted, while others are only capable of as little as redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.15 for more information. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some, redacted, exists within the body and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmore records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. Refer to File 8-54-1982 for full report. And bits. There's a map. Anything else? No mail? No nothing? Well, good news, everyone. Some offices are open again. We did it, team. Boardroom.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms? The hiss? Sorry. You made it. I'm glad.
Where are you storing that gun?
Let's talk.
Of course.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know.
Just do it.
Find out about you.
It's fine.
But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself.
Yeah, it's the right call. Yeah.
If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
Maintenance it is, then. Really nice job with the interior decorations. Yeah, it's probably a problem, right? We'll deal with it. I had mentioned ability points. We can deconstruct a couple of things. Energy 5%, -8, -7. That's worse. Okay. That's the hotline. Were you telling me something? Ah.
Do you hear that? Someone's singing.
Singing?
Where's it coming from?
Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
We'll deal with that in a moment or two.
I heard the hiss attack the power plant. Brings up a lot of new questions.
Abilities. Oh, and astral constructs. So, we can construct shatter. We want that. No new forms available. That's quite alright. We can fuck around with mods. Make them, upgrade them. That's nice. Ah, that's just oddie. It's fine. So, we're gonna want that. We're gonna want that. Excellent. Needs more points. That's fine. For the time being, we'll just get some basics. Ah, and there you go. We can reset points for this stuff. Not worried about it at the time.
What about the plant attracted them?
The power plant is
Outfits. We've only got this one for right now.
confidential. No use guessing.
Board countermeasures. Don't worry about that.
There's no other way.
Load up. Shatter. Projectiles fired, reload speed, recoil, reload speed. I think we're going to go with reload speed for now.
Energy output.
We'll deal with that later. Anything else? Not presently. Alright, so we've done some things, haven't we? Out of there, we'll quit on out. And, boy, this has been nice. I've been having fun. Control. Very, very good, still. Also very nice looking. We'll see what else Miss Faden needs to brush up on as far as her managerial skills are concerned. Communications department is an ongoing issue. Tomasi was somewhat disagreeable in his interview. Just kind of trying to see where everybody's at. So far, Miss Pope, real up-and-comer. I think she has upper management written all over her. But, not my call. I'm really here in more of like a consulting role. Even though Miss Faden doesn't want to talk directly to me, it's fine. It's fine. These things happen. We do our jobs with or without recognition. It's really got more to do with making sure a thing functions than it has to do with pride. It's best to just swallow those things and leave it at that. While you consider what it is that you've got to swallow and leave it at that, I'll leave you alone for a bit. Leave you alone? Leave you to wander alone for a bit. There it is. My brain is fried. It's it's the last day of the weekend and I had to get up early. Can you tell? Anyway, see ya.